Reignite your intuition to show to grow your intuitive self. Today, my topic is about why dolphins jump out of the water at the same time. And I must admit, it's a topic that might be a bit weird, but I love it because it has a lot to do with being intuitive and being human and being connected within yourself. My name is Angela and I'm a highly intuitive person by birth. What makes me the expert in supporting you regaining your intuition. As a psychic life coach, it is my passion to support people by becoming themselves. Trusting fully your intuition takes time and is a very individual process. I share with you my knowledge and hands-on strategies that I have developed to support you in your daily lifestyle. If you want to make me smile, give me an article or a show where they try to find out why dolphins jump out of the water at the same time. Science has no clue. And I'm like, what? Science has no clue. Okay, why? And there is this explanation. We haven't found any way how they specially use, to show each other, or they make the special tones. Dolphins have these very, very high tones. And I'm like, really? We do not know how they communicate why and when and how to jump out of the water? Are you kidding me? Obviously they are not. But look, there is tons of people out there who have not a dolphin at home, because that would be not nice to the dolphins, but they have dogs or cats or whatever, horses, ponies, donkeys, whatever animal they have. And a lot of people tell me, well, I have the feeling that I can understand what they're telling me. And guess what? You can. Because somewhere in our time, when we humans started to think we are super smart, we started to think that our vocal conversation is the only good way. But as a matter of fact, we are all telepaths. Yes, we're all connected. And I can tell you, for sure you thought of someone like, oh, I gotta call that one, and then you all of a sudden got a call from that person. Funny enough, my brother has this too. He is always calling me like, sis, something's wrong. And I'm like, oh, sometimes when I didn't want to tell him that something's not, well, wrong might not be wrong, but not as good as he wants it to be for me, which is lovely, but not supportive. In a funny way, he wants to support me, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, but it's too late. I have him on the phone. So guess now, dear science people, dolphins jump out at the same time because they do communicate, but it's with telepaths. They're telepaths. It's so easy to communicate by that. If you're connected to someone by heart, do you really think a mother knows what a baby wants? Huh? And sometimes I know these mothers who are like, well, it had food, it slept, everything's fine, and then this baby starts to cry, and those who are very connected with him themselves go like, oh, this or that. Those who are not, well, they don't go like this and that, but they're getting there. Babies are actually teaching us to reconnect to our inner voice again. And this is what, for a dolphin, is absolutely natural to communicate. With the inner voice. That's totally fine. That's totally nice. That's absolutely great. And again, do we really have to test this stuff at these animals, by the way? Yes, no, maybe? I'm totally a no. Let them live. We are anyways more stupid than they are. I mean, I am very, very, very privileged. I was able to swim with dolphins. They showed up. And I must admit, that's how I look at it. They did show up. One of the most beautiful scenes was when we got out of the harbor in, it was not Mauritius, La Réunion, the island beside Mauritius. When we got out of the harbor in La Réunion, and the dolphins were guiding us. And I had the feeling that they were like pushing, getting the boat into faster movements. I had the privilege to see humpback whales. I even seen, oh my good God, what's that in English? We call it in German blue whale, which is the biggest whale you can see. And one of the guides lost it. He was like, oh my goodness, you hardly see them, and it's so hard, and we have a hard time to find out anything about them. And I'm like, probably they're just don't want us to find those things out. I've seen tons of these animals in wild nature, and they're so beautiful, and we should probably rather stop to want to find out by science things and more listen with our hearts to them. I always felt incredibly connected to the animals, which is absolutely amazing. They're just absolutely, they're great. They're absolutely great. And it's also with our dogs and cats and everyone. We should probably sometimes really stop with all this loud talking. By the way, all your animals understand what you say when you talk to them clearly, but you have to listen dearly with your heart to understand what's their answer. They will answer, and they're very clear. So cats and dogs communicate, by the way, and goldfishes do too. Which was one of the funniest thing I ever had. I grew up not realizing that it's not normal, but for me it's very, very normal to talk to animals. What I do not do, due to respect, is if the owner of an animal is not agreeing with me communicating with the animal, I don't do it. That's just a little hint. Don't do that. If you're able to communicate, don't do it. It's just, it's encroaching due to the fact that it might be that the animal is not happy and you cannot help it. Or for example, the animal wants to solve something for the owner, but the owner doesn't get it. It's not yours, so you're not supposed to talk to the animal. Well, that's just a little outside thing. Well, so for example, a friend of mine, he was having a speech, and then he was saying, well, my goldfish has no freaking clue where I'm at. And I looked up and I saw a goldfish and saying, of course I know what he's doing. And plop, was it gone again. Who knows if that was my imagination, or if that was my humor, or if that was just me talking to his goldfish. Which is all possible, by the way. But you will start to feel that you really get what the animal means the moment you really start to listen to your heart. And at the beginning you might think from time to time like, what? Excuse me? Really? Is there anything else I can get than this one? That's scary. That's okay. The point is more, science cannot prove everything. And this is what I want to say is this: stop trying to prove everything. I mean, I'm human. I'm thinking in a very logic way because that's what I got taught. But I also learned, or I actually did not unlearn, which most people do, to trust the fact that there are things out there you can't explain. And science people do know very, very often that there are things out there that you can't explain. But for Christ's sake, they try to. Oh, really? Yeah, really. So please, 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 next time when you see any show where they discuss how these dolphins can communicate, which I still think it's funny, why don't you just call them and be like, guys, or when you're in a show, you sit in there, why don't you just scream in, because they're telepaths. They are, and they're much better in it as we. But we can learn, probably we can learn pretty good. So why don't we try to talk to each other a bit less by mouth and more by heart and more by telepathic ways. So let's learn from the dolphins how we both can jump out of the water at the same time without saying one word. Are you ready for being you? Are you curious now how to be a telepath? Yes, then go to angelaheck.com. On Work With Me, you find a button where you can book a free 30-minute call with me. Thank you very much for listening to Reignite Your Intuition. Have an intuitive day.